Hi friends, welcome to Rankers Up. Today in this video we are going to learn how to solve different questions from different chapters using a concept called ratios. Now quantitative aptitude we know is very important for competitive exams. Now we are going to learn how to solve the questions which are in the form of a into b equal to c, where c is a constant. That means in the problem we'll find three terms a, b and c, which will be in the form of a into b equal to c, where c is a constant. We are going to solve all these problems using a concept called ratios. So before going to the problems, let us learn first of all the basic of ratios. Now what do you mean by a ratio? Ratio is nothing but it's a comparison between two or more similar quantities. Now let's take a small example. Suppose I say the ages of A and B are in the ratio of 5 is to 3. So here I am comparing the age of A and age of B, saying that the ages of A and B are in the ratio of 5 is to 3. Now what does this mean? Now the simple meaning of this is, if the age of A is 5 years, the age of B will be 3 years. Now are they the actual values of A and B? They may or they may not be the actual values of A and B. Now if we want to find the actual values of A and B, then what is the additional information we require? Either we require the sum of their ages, or we require the difference in their ages, or we may require the product of their ages. But here let's talk about only sum and difference. Now if suppose we are given the sum of their ages, if I say the sum of the ages of A and B is 48 years, and I ask you what is the actual age of A and what is the actual age of B. Now here the sum of A and B is 48. Here A is 5 parts, B is 3 parts. When I talk about sum, it should be 8 parts. 8 parts is 48. One part will be 48 by 8, which is 6 years. If one part is 6 years, A is 5 parts. So 5 parts, 5 into 6, 30 years. And B is 3 parts, 3 into 6, 18 years. So this is how we can find the actual ages of A and B when we are given the sum of their ages. Now if suppose we are given the difference in their ages. Now if I say the difference in their ages is some 8 years. Now I am talking about the difference. Now here A is 5 parts, B is 3 parts, and here it is difference. Now difference is 2 parts. So this 2 part should be equal to 8 years, 1 part 8 by 2, which is 4 years. 2 fours are 8, so 4 years. So A is 5 parts. 1 part is 4 years, 5 parts. 5 fours are 20 years. And B is 3 parts. 3 fours are 12 years. So this is how we can utilize the concept of ratios to answer these questions. By learning this basic, we can solve the questions of this model. Now let us first of all learn one more point before we actually go into the problems. Now, before entering into the problems, now as I told, we are going to solve the problems which are in the form of A into B equal to C, where the terms in the problem will be in the form of A into B equal to C. Like if I take the concept called percentages. In percentages, we have problems related with price, consumption, and expenditure. Now we know that price into consumption is expenditure. So when expenditure is constant, if price increases, consumption will decrease. Okay, or if price decreases, consumption will increase. And the problems in a chapter called time and work. Now in time and work, we have men and time. Men into time generally gives us work. If work is constant, if men increase, time decreases. If men decrease, time increases. And problems in a chapter called time and distance. where we talk about speed into time gives us distance. So when distance is constant, as speed increases, time will decrease. If speed decreases, time will increase. And in a chapter called mensuration, where we have problems on rectangle, length into breadth will give us area. So if area is constant, when length increases, breadth will decrease, or when length decreases, breadth will increase. Now, one more point here that we are going to learn is, now what is the inverse ratio? The inverse ratio of A is to B. So the inverse ratio of A is to B is B is to A. Now this is a point which will help us to answer the questions in these chapters using a concept called ratios in a very simple way. Now let's start with the first problem based upon percentages. The increase in price of sugar by 25% enables a family to buy 4 kilograms less. Find the initial quantity of sugar that the family was purchasing. Now, please subscribe to our channel, Rank Us Up, for more videos in different areas. Now, let's look into the solution. Now, here he is saying that the price of sugar is increased by 25%. Because of that, the family is able to buy 4 kgs less. 4 kgs. Kgs is nothing but the consumption quantity. Now, let us assume the initial price of sugar is 100. Now, this price of sugar is increased by 25%. So, the new price of sugar should be 125. Now, when I talk with respect to ratio, 25 fours, 25 fives. So, the prices are in the ratio of 4 is to 5. Here the initial price is 4 and the new price is 5. Now here, when expenditure is same, when prices are in the ratio of 4 is to 5, definitely the consumption in sense the quantity what the customer purchases, consumption will be in the inverse ratio. Now what is the inverse ratio of 4 is to 5? So definitely the inverse ratio of 4 is to 5 is 5 is to 4. Now here we are given the difference in the consumption. Now this 4 kilograms less, he is able to buy 4 kilograms less. So this 4 kilograms is nothing but the difference in consumption. Here the difference in consumption is one part. That one part he is saying it is 4 kgs. So if one part is 4 kgs, the initial consumption here is 5 parts. So one part is 4 kgs, 5 parts should be 5 fours are 20 kgs. So initially the family was purchasing 20 kgs of sugar. Now let us look into the next question. A reduction of 20% in the price of rice enables a family to buy 6 kilograms more rice for rupees 720. Find the reduced price of rice per kilogram. Now what do you mean by this reduced price? Now reduced price is nothing but the price after reduction. That is after reducing 20%, what is the price of rice per kilogram? Now here he is saying that because of this reduction of 20% in the price, the family is able to buy 6 kilograms more. So here once again expenditure is same 720, it's constant. So when price decreases, consumption will increase. So that's why the family is able to buy 6 kilograms more. Now let's see how to answer this by ratios. Now assume the initial price of rice per kilogram is 100. Now this is reduced by 20%. So it becomes 80. So what is the ratio in the prices? 25s, 24. So prices are in the ratio of 5 is to 4. Now we know that when expenditure is constant, price and consumption are inversely proportional. So definitely the consumption of rice will be in the ratio of 4 is to 5, where 4 is the initial consumption and 5 is the new consumption. Now he is asking us to find the reduced price. Now the difference in consumption here is 1 part, and that 1 part it is given as 6 kilograms. If 1 part is 6 kilograms, the new consumption is 5 parts, which should be 30 kilograms. So after reducing the price, the family is able to purchase 30 kilograms of rice for 720 rupees. So what is the price of rice per kilogram? So per kilogram it should be 720 by 30. So 0 0 cancel, 3 ones, 3 twos are 6, 12, 3 fours. So the reduced price of rice per kilogram is 24 rupees. So the new price of rice per kilogram will be 24 rupees. Now let us look into the next question. A reduction of 25% in the price of oil enables a family to buy 5 kilograms more oil for rupees 1800. Find the original price of oil per kilogram. Now in the previous question we are asked to find the reduced price, but here we are asked to find the original price. So all of you might have noticed how simple it is to answer the question using ratios. If you don't use ratios, definitely you have to use a very lengthy method if you start taking variables by taking let the initial price be x and so on. It's a very lengthy process. Now let's see how to answer this question using the concept ratios. Now here once again the expenditure is same, that is 1800. Now a reduction of 25% in price. So price is reduced by 25%, enables a family to buy 5 kilograms more. So consumption increased by 5 kilograms and the expenditure is 1800. So we are asked to find the original price of oil per kilogram. So let's start. Assume the initial price of oil is 100. Later on it is reduced by 25%. So it becomes 75. So what is the ratio? 25 fours, 25 threes. So the ratio of prices is 4:3. Then when expenditure is constant, definitely the consumption will be in the ratio of 3:4, inversely proportional. Price and consumption are inversely proportional. So the inverse ratio of 4:3 is 3:4. And the difference in the consumption is 1 part, and that 1 part is given as 5 kgs. Here we are asked to find the original price. So to find the original price, first of all we have to find what is the original quantity purchased by the family for rupees 1800. So original quantity is 3 parts, consumption is 3 parts. 1 part is 5 kgs, 3 parts should be 3 5s are 15 kgs. So initially the family is able to purchase 15 kgs of oil for rupees 1800. So we are asked to find what is the price of oil per kilogram. So it should be 1800 divided by 15. So 15 ones are 15, 15 ones 15, 30, 15 twos and a 0. So the initial price of oil per kg is 120 rupees. So 120 rupees per kg is the original price of oil per kilogram. Now let us go into the next concept, that is in the concept time and work, how to answer the questions using ratios. Now in the previous 3 questions we have seen how to answer the questions in percentages using a concept called ratios. Now we are going to solve the problems in time and work using ratios. Now coming to the question, a certain number of men can complete a piece of work in 35 days. However, if there were 9 men less, then it takes 15 days more to complete the same work. So here you can see work is constant. How many men were there initially? Now we know that when work is constant, when men increase, time will decrease, or when men decreases, time will increase. Now here we are given time. Initially there are certain number of men, we don't know how many men, but they can complete the work in 35 days. If there were 9 men less, so men decreased, it takes 15 days more. So you can see time increased. So when men decreased, time increased. So question is, how many men were there initially? Now because we know time, that is days, D1 is to D2. D1 is the initial time, D2 is the time after men decreasing. So D1 is given as 35 days and D2 15 days more. 35 plus 15, it is 50. So ratio 5 sevens, 5 tens. So here you can see time, that is days, is in the ratio of 7 is to 10. So when time is in the ratio of 7 is to 10, definitely the number of men present there should be in the inverse ratio. That is, the number of men should be in the ratio of 10 is to 7, where 10 is the initial number of men and 7 is the men after decreasing. Here the difference in men is 3 parts. So that 3 parts is given as 9 men. So if 3 parts is 9, 1 part should be 3. If 1 part is 3, the initial number of men is 10 parts. So 1 part is 3, 10 parts is 30. So initially there were 30 men. So you can clearly see how easily it is to answer using ratios. So you are learning only ratio to answer different questions from different chapters which are in the form of A into B equal to C. Now let us look into one more question. Now let us look into the next question. 24 men working together can complete a piece of work in some days. So here we are not given time. If there were 16 men more, so you know that when men increases, time will decrease. Then it takes 10 days less. So clearly you can see time decreased to complete the same work. So how many days did 24 men take to complete the work? Now here, men. We know men here. Initially there are 24 men. Later on, if there were 16 men more, so 24 plus 16, it is 40. So what is the ratio? 8 threes, 8 fives. So you can see here, the number of men are in the ratio of 3 is to 5 and they are doing the same work. So work is constant. So when work is constant, men and time are inversely proportional to each other. So time, that is days, should be in the inverse ratio, that is 5 is to 3. So this 5 parts is the initial time taken by 24 men to complete the work, and this 3 parts is the time taken by 40 men to complete the work. And the difference in time, he is saying it is 10 days. So here you can see the difference is 2 parts. So 2 parts it's 10 days, 1 part should be 5 days. So the initial time is 5 parts, obviously it should be 25 days. So these 24 men actually can complete the work in 25 days. Now let us look into the next problem where we are going to solve the problems in time and distance using ratios. Now let us look into a question from time and distance. A man decreases his speed by 40% and reaches his office from his house 18 minutes late. Find the time taken by him to reach his office traveling at his usual speed. Now here in this problem we have 3 terms: speed, distance and time. Now he is traveling from his house to office. So when he is traveling from house to office, definitely the distance is constant. And we know that when distance is constant, as speed decreases, time should increase, and when speed increases, time will decrease. Now here he is saying that speed is decreased by 40%. So definitely he is late by 18 minutes. So time increased. Now he is asking find the time taken by him to reach his office traveling at his usual speed. Now because we do not know what is his usual speed, now I am assuming his usual speed is S1 and the speed after reducing it is S2. I take his usual speed as 100 and after reducing it by 40%, after decreasing by 40%, it becomes 60. Now the ratio 25s, 23s. So here speeds are in the ratio of 5 is to 3. Now we know that when distance is constant, speed and time are inversely proportional. So time taken to reach his office should be in the inverse ratio, that is 3 is to 5. Now here we are given that he is late by 18 minutes. What is this 18 minutes? So definitely this 18 minutes is the difference in time what he is taking to reach his office. Here the difference in time is two parts. The two parts is given as 18 minutes. So one part should be 18 by 2, 9 minutes. Now here his usual time should be T1, which is 3 parts. If one part is 9 minutes, 3 parts, 3 into 9, it is 27 minutes. So the time taken by him to reach his office traveling at his usual speed is 27 minutes. Now let us look into the next question. Increasing his speed by 25%, a man reaches his office from his house 12 minutes early. So here when his speed is increased, time decreased. He reached early. So this 12 minutes is nothing but the difference in time. If the distance between his house and office is 30 kilometers, then find the usual speed at which he was traveling. So here we are asked to find what is his usual speed. Definitely if you want to find his usual speed, first of all we must know what is the time he is taking to reach his office traveling at his usual speed, because we know that speed is nothing but distance by time. Distance is already given as 30 kilometers, but we do not know what is the time. That is, what is the time he takes traveling at his usual speed. Now let us start. Now because we do not know his usual speed, I assume his usual speed is S1 and the new speed is S2. Usual speed I take it as 100 and he is increasing his speed by 25%. So now the speed will be 125. Now ratio 25 fours, 25 fives. So speeds are in the ratio of 4:5. When speeds are in the ratio of 4:5 and when distance is constant, definitely time taken to reach his office will be in the ratio of 5:4, where this 5 parts is the time taken by him to reach his office traveling at his usual speed, and 4 parts is the time taken by him to reach his office when his speed is increased. And the difference in time here is 1 part. That 1 part is given as 12 minutes, which is the difference in time. And the usual time what he takes to reach his office traveling at his usual speed is 5 parts. If 1 part is 12 minutes, 5 parts, 5 into 12, 60 minutes. So this 60 minutes is the time taken by him to reach his office traveling at his usual speed. But here we are asked to find what is his usual speed. So we know that speed is nothing but distance by time. Distance is 30 kilometers and time is 60 minutes. Now we know that speed is measured in kilometers per hour. So this 60 minutes should be converted into hours. We know that to convert minutes into hours, we need to divide with 60. So 60 by 60, it is 1. So the speed, the usual speed at which he was traveling is 30 kilometers per hour. Now let us look into the next question from mensuration. The length of a rectangle is increased by 35% and its breadth is decreased by 14 centimeters so that area remains same. Find the initial breadth of the rectangle. Now here we know that area of rectangle is length into breadth. So L into B equal to area. So we know that when length increases, if area is same, that is area is constant. So definitely breadth should decrease. So here we are given that length of the rectangle is increased by 35%. Because I do not know the initial length, I take it as 100. So the new length should be 135. So ratio 5 20s, 5 27s. So the length of the rectangle are in the ratio of 20:27, and when area is same, that is area is constant, definitely the breadth of the rectangle should be in the ratio of 27:20. Now here breadth is decreased by 14 centimeters. So this 14 centimeters is nothing but the difference in the breadth, which is 7 parts. So 7 parts is 14 centimeters, 1 part 14 by 7, which is 2 centimeters. So initial breadth is 27 parts, one part is 2 centimeters, 27 parts. 27 into 2, which is 54 centimeters. So this is how we can actually answer the questions using ratios. So our point is learn few, answer more number of questions. So if you know the concept of ratios, so this is how we can answer these type of questions in a very simple way.
Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, share and subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon for further notifications. Download the Rankas app now for full courses.